The smell hit the air recyclers first. Then the alarms went quiet. Not a fire alarm. Not a hull breach siren. A warning the station was never built to handle. 6 tiger cubs came flying out of the nursery corridor, claws clicking on deck plating, eyes wide, noses up. And Nora realized, with a cold drop in her stomach, that the station's most dangerous predators had just learned what a human meal was. The cubs weren't supposed to leave the nursery without a handler. The nursery doors weren't supposed to unlock without clearance. And the galley ventilation wasn't supposed to carry scent that far. But the vents were breathing out something warm and impossible. Cooked meat. Nora sprinted after them, boots slamming. Stop. Nursery protocol. Her voice echoed down the curved hallway. A crewman rounded the corner, Engineer Saito, arms full of filter panels. His face drained. Why are they out? I don't know. Get out of the corridor. Saito flattened himself to the wall. The cubs didn't even glance at him. They moved as one, pulled by the scent. They weren't playing. They were hunting. Nora hit her wrist comm. Security. This is Nora. Seal the galley. Lock down the mess doors. Do not use stun in the ventilation corridors. Static. Then Captain Holt. Copy. What happened? I think a human meal vented scent into the nursery intake, Nora said, breath sharp. And they're following it. A pause. How fast? Striped tails vanished around a junction. Too fast. She pushed harder. The station had been designed for cargo carts and calm footsteps, not for hungry tiger cubs born under a red sun. Most of the crew saw cute. Nora saw what they would become. She'd bottle-fed them at 3 a.m. She'd hummed into their fur when they woke shaking. She told herself that mattered. The cubs slipped into the service spine, a narrow maintenance corridor above the mess, packed with pipes and warm airflow. The scent was stronger here. Not just meat. Spices. Oil. Heat. Human food, rare on the station because it clogged filters and made everyone hungry. They nearly collided with a woman crawling backward, Dr. Mara Ellison, the Xenovet. Mara's eyes went huge. Nora. Move. Nora yanked Mara into an alcove as the cubs streaked past, fur brushing their knees. Mara swallowed. What is that smell? Nora didn't answer. Because below them, through the grating, came human laughter. The clang of a pan. And a proud voice. Okay, don't crowd me. It's just stew. That voice belonged to cook JAX Mero. JAX was new. Human transfer. He hated nutrient bricks and begged for real kitchen time. Nora had said no. The captain had said limited. Now stew was in the air. They reached the drop hatch above the galley and looked down. The galley was alive. Crew clustered near the counter, bowls in hand, eyes half closed at the steam rising from a massive pot. JX stood behind the counter, sleeves rolled up, smiling like he'd saved the station. Captain Holt stood nearby with Security Officer Reyes, watching. This small warmth kept people sane. And it was about to become bait. One cub appeared at the mess doors. Then 2. Then all 6, lined like little soldiers, ears forward, tails low. A spoon clinked. A woman whispered, "Oh no." Holt's smile vanished. Reyes, shut. Too late. The doors whooshed open. The cubs stepped in. They didn't charge. They paused. They scanned. Then the scent hit them full strength. Their bodies changed. Focused. Like a switch flipped from kitten to predator. The smallest, Keto, chirped. And the litter began to trot toward the counter. People backed away in a wave. JX blinked, then laughed, clueless. Oh. Hey, no, this is hot. Nora dropped through the maintenance hatch into the galley, landing hard. Nobody move. The cubs stopped. 6 pairs of golden eyes locked on her. Nora stepped forward slowly, palms down. "Nora is here," she said softly. "Back. Back to nursery." Rumble, the largest cub, stared with a seriousness that didn't belong in a baby face. Steam rose again. Rumble looked past Nora to the pot. Then he took another step. Halt, low and sharp behind her. "Nora, how bad is it?" "It's new," Nora said. "They've never smelled this much cooked meat." Mara whispered, "This is a conditioning moment." Nora hated that. Because these cubs weren't weapons. They were children with claws. Jax leaned forward, ladle in hand. "They are hungry," he said. "Give them a little. Just a taste." "No," Nora snapped. "It's not just food. It's a trigger." Rumble huffed, impatient. The others mirrored him. Nora stepped sideways, between the cubs and the pot. She put herself in the line. "You want it," she said, low. "I know." "You are safe," Nora said. "But you do not take." The cubs edged forward. Nora did not retreat. Then a new sound cut the room. A child cried. Lena Holt stood near a table, cheeks wet, clutching a bowl too big for her hands. A cub's head turned toward the sound. Curiosity. The line broke. Holt barked, "Lena, behind me." But Lena couldn't move. Rumble's gaze swung from Nora to the child. His body lowered. Nora moved fast, cutting the angle, stepping between. "Rumble. No." Rumble stopped. Claws dug into the deck. Nora softened instantly. "I'm here," she said. "Look at me." Rumble hesitated, then met her eyes. Nora crouched, not like prey, like family. She tapped her chest. "Mine," she said, the boundary word. "You do not cross." Steam rolled out again. Jax stirred the pot. The smell punched the air. Mara's hand touched Nora's elbow. "If he breaks focus, the others will follow." This was how it happened on stations. Risk becomes necessary. Necessary becomes empty cages. Nora held the room with one word. "Wait." Jax, trying to help, spoke at the worst time. "I can put some on the floor. They can lick it." "Jax, don't." But he had already tilted the ladle. A thick ribbon of stew slid onto a tray. The scent surged. All 6 cubs lunged. A chair scraped somewhere behind Nora. Someone sucked in a breath too loud. If the cubs broke into a full rush, the crew would panic. If the crew panicked, command would do what command always did when fear showed up in reports. Erase the problem. Nora stepped into their path, arms wide. "Stop." Rumble skidded into her shin. Keto tried to dart around. Nora pivoted, blocking, boots squealing. For 2 terrifying seconds, she was surrounded by fur and hunger. Then Rumble looked up at her. And he Saturday. Hard. The litter hesitated. Rumble chuffed, his order sound. One by one, they sat too. The mess room exhaled. Mara whispered, stunned, "He chose you." Captain Holt stepped forward carefully. "Tell me what you need." "Close the doors," Nora said. "No weapons. And someone take that tray away." Reyes slid the tray into a sealed bin without a clang. The smell weakened. And that was when the mess lights flickered. For a heartbeat, the doors tried to cycle, open, close, open, like the station itself couldn't decide which side it was on. The cubs noticed. Their ears snapped forward. Nora felt the old, animal math in their bodies. Movement equals opportunity. She planted her boots and did not blink. Then the station PA chimed. "Warning. Ventilation pressure shift. Section C filters offline." Mara's face tightened. Filter failure. That's why the scent carried. Nora's mind clicked. Section C was the nursery intake. If the nursery kept pulling galley air, the cubs would keep getting hit with go now. They would remember this wrong. Holt saw her expression. Solutions. We flip it, Nora said. We make the smell mean wait, not take. Controlled exposure. Only when they're seated. Only calm. Mara nodded. Solid. Holt didn't hesitate. Do it. Now. Nora faced the cubs again. Stay. All 6 stayed. JAX, she said, give me a dry bowl. No stew. JAX passed one over with shaking hands. Nora set it down gently. She pulled out nursery-approved protein cubes and placed one in the bowl. The cubs' eyes tracked it. Nora lifted a finger. Wait. They trembled with effort. Kito's paws inched. Rumble chuffed once. Keto froze. Nora counted. 1, 2, 3. Then she nodded. Okay. They moved forward carefully, took the cubes, and backed up. Stay. Wait. Okay. Calm. Then she looked at JAX. Now, she said. 1 drop. Mara steadied Jax's wrist. A single drop of stew fell into the bowl. The scent rose. The cubs tensed. Nora's voice stayed steady. Wait. Rumble sat first. The litter followed. Nora counted. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Rumble approached, slow, and licked the drop. His eyes went wide. He looked up at Nora like he'd discovered a new universe. You don't take, Nora whispered. You ask. You wait. He backed away. The others took turns, 1 lick each, never breaking rhythm. Reyes murmured, humanity dominance. Not by force. By control. Minutes passed. Then the PA chimed again. Ventilation stable. Section C filters online. The air shifted. The stew smell softened, pulled back where it belonged. The cubs relaxed. Rumble padded forward and pressed his forehead to Nora's shin. Not hunger. Contact. Keto bumped her other leg. Then the rest piled in, warm and striped, trying to climb her like she was home. JX stepped around the counter slowly, hands open. I'm sorry, he said, voice rough. I almost ruined everything. You almost got them killed, Nora said quietly. JAX flinched. Nora's expression softened a fraction. But you also showed us what they need, she added. Not secrets. Structure. Can I help? JAX asked. The right way. You follow my rules, Nora said. Every time. Every time. Captain Holt returned, eyes clear. Filters are stable. New station order. No open cooking without nursery intake isolation. He looked at the cubs clinging to Nora and let out a tired, honest smile. And I'm adding predator meal protocol to our emergency manual. Lena stepped forward from behind Holt, still teary, clutching her bowl. I'm sorry I cried, she whispered. You didn't do anything wrong, Nora said gently. You were scared. Lena nodded, eyes on the cubs. They're not bad. They're not bad, Nora agreed. They're learning. Rumble approached Lena's bowl slowly and sniffed. Lena froze. Nora kept her voice calm. Hold still. Let him smell. Rumble looked up at Lena. Then he Saturday. Like he'd been taught. Lena giggled through tears. He Saturday. Yes, Nora said. He asked. Can I give him a cube? Lena whispered. Holt nodded once. Nora placed a protein cube in Lena's palm. Say wait. Lena's voice trembled but held. Wait. Lena counted, whispering. 1, 2, 3. Then she smiled. Okay. Rumble took the cube gently. Lena's face lit up. Later, when the cubs were guided back to the nursery, tired, full, and purring like small engines, Nora stayed by the glass, watching them curl into one warm, striped knot. Mara leaned beside her. You did something important, Mara said softly. I almost lost them, Nora whispered. But you didn't, Mara said. And they chose you. Nora pressed her palm to the glass. Inside, Rumble stirred, as if he felt it. His eyes opened a slit. He looked at her. Then he closed them again. Safe. Nora finally let out the breath she'd been holding since the day they arrived. Sleep, she whispered. I've got you. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like and subscribe for more HFY sci-fi. And tell me your favorite moment in the comments. Was it when Rumble sat and the whole litter followed, or when Lena fed him the cube? Nora turned from the nursery window and walked back into the station's bright corridors. The air still carried a faint trace of stew. But now it also carried something else. A promise. And the steady warmth of humanity, strong enough to hold hungry little predators without breaking them.